Take a motion to open the meeting.
So moved. Can we get a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That action carries. I will then adjourn then the committee of the whole, and we will move to then the full board. And I will try and find my agenda someplace here. Sorry, everyone. Here's the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, I moved it.
It's in my files someplace. Anyway, so, being the time is 5:23, I'd like to convene the full board, the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board, and I will have our secretary yes, we will have the secretary call the roll.
Commissioner Alper,
Present.
Commissioner Menz,
Present.
Commissioner Musich,
Present.
Commissioner Olson,
Here.
Commissioner Rucker, absent, Commissioner Schaefer,
Here.
Commissioner Thompson,
Stepped away.
absent, Vice President Abeni,
Here.
President Forney.
Here,
You have a quorum.
thank you. I will then take a motion to approve, thank you so much. Approve the agenda.
I'd like to move the agenda with one amendment. Should I do that now or after?
We need a second to the moving.
Second.
Okay, and now you would like to make a motion to
Yes,
amend?
yes, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include a resolution to direct staff to pursue a prompt settlement of the current labor dispute with city employees, LiUNA Local 363. Whereas the MPRB intends to enter into a fair agreement that reflects the significant value our employees bring to Minneapolis's award-winning nationally recognized park system, whereas the MPRB recognizes the significant work done by Superintendent Al Bangora and MPRB staff to bargain, keeping the long-term future of our parks in mind, and whereas the MPRB values the critical work performed by the members of the union in maintaining and improving the parks and recreational facilities that have been ranked among the best in the nation, and whereas the MPRB was established in 1883 by an act of the Minnesota State Legislature, and this is the first worker strike in its 141-year history. And whereas the labor management conflict that is currently taking place distracts from fulfillment of our important mission of preserving, protecting, maintaining, improving, and enhancing our park system, and whereas it is in the best interest of the MPRB, its employees, and the residents of Minneapolis to prioritize focusing on the fulfillment of our mission and reaching a fair and reasonable resolution to this contract dispute immediately. Now therefore be it resolved that the MPRB hereby directs its staff to promptly make a proposal to the union that meets the following criteria. 1, includes the schedule of wages increases and market adjustment increases that the MPRB proposed in its final offer of settlement, in which the union has expressed its willingness to accept. 2, includes all items that the MPRB and the union have tentatively agreed upon. 3, does not include any other proposals that were not tentatively agreed upon.
It's been
I'm
seconded.
not hearing a second.
I seconded it when she moved it, but yes, second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Yes, Commissioner Alper.
Thank you. I ask you, my fellow commissioners and representatives of the people of Minneapolis, to support adding this resolution to the agenda tonight. This resolution is not just a matter of policy, it's a testament to our shared values and commitment to the future of our community. Today, we face a unique challenge. This is the first park worker strike in 141 years. This unprecedented situation diverts our attention from our primary mission: preserving, protecting, maintaining, improving, and enhancing our parks. After 7 months of negotiations and 3 weeks of a strike, it's time for us, the leaders of the Minneapolis park system, who the voters entrusted, to lean in and resolve this dispute. This is no longer a time to remain silent. What you see before you is a path forward to find a solution to this present conflict, which respects the gravity of the situation. It's not about winning. This resolution isn't pro-union or pro-MPRB management. If it had to choose a side, I would say it's with the people. And the people have spoken loud and clear. It's high time for this strike to end. Without this resolution, we face, as a board, as the park board, a perilous path forward. It's one with no end in sight. It's one where we gradually crawl out of the hole while parks deteriorate, where workers' families are impacted without paychecks and dissatisfaction grows amongst the public. This is a pragmatic, common sense solution. I did not come to this lightly. It takes the items that have tentative agreement and moves them forward. It sticks with the status quo on the ones that don't, and it doesn't change anything in terms of wages and a 12-month probation period. It merely moves forward with the wages and the 12-month probation period offered by MPRB that the union has said they accept, and I invite you to call their bluff on that. 3 weeks is too long. It's too long. It's time to end this strike and get our workers, all of them, back to work. It's time to be an employer of choice, and I ask you to come together to support this resolution because our parks are more than just green spaces. They are the heartbeat of this city.
Commissioner Menz? And just to,
I know
for
we're on
everybody
time,
to
so-
realize, we
Yep.
do have a time certain open time at 5:30.
All I'd like to say on this, the motion to add this to the agenda is that I do think that putting this resolution on the agenda works in a good process for this point in the procedure, that we as a board and the workers and the citizens deserve our respect and our ability to discuss this resolution. Whether or not we are going to support it ultimately, I believe it does deserve a discussion with this board. Thank you. I support this amendment.
Thank you. Commissioner Olson?
I will also support this amendment, similar logic as Commissioner Menz. At this point, in unprecedented circumstances, we must take unprecedented action, and we must consider all possible paths forward. And this is one possible path forward. And in our closed session, we heard some other paths forward. And so let's consider all of them. Let's discuss them as a board. Vote for this amendment.
My apologies, I've been informed that we do need to adopt the agenda before, so I am not seeing any other lights. I'm going to ask the Secretary to call roll on this amendment to our agenda.
Commissioner Elper,
Aye.
Commissioner Menz,
Aye.
Commissioner Musich,
No.
Commissioner Olson,
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker, absent. Commissioner Schaefer,
Nay.
Commissioner Thompson,
No.
Vice President Abeni,
No.
President Forney.
No,
You have 3 ayes, 5 nays, 1 absent.
that amendment fails. Back to the main motion, which
Are you kidding me? can't address, if you cannot,
All those in favor
if you cannot
of the
address,
agenda, please signify by saying aye. We have two more. We have 2 more minutes of open time. If somebody would like to sit down, sit down. Please sit down.
cannot address the
Please,
one
please,
most pressing
sit down.
issue affecting the park board and your constituents, this community today, then you have no business to conduct.
We have 1 more minute for open time if people would like to speak that are signed up. We have only 1 more minute.
We will not be ignored. Shame.
We have 1 more minute for open time.
But you've turned your back.
Our 15 minutes of open time have passed. Commissioner Menz, if you'd like to speak, you can. If you can be heard, that's the question. Thank you.
Has been laid bare for the entire state to see, and we will not put up with it anymore. We're not going away.
Where are we in the agenda, President Forney?
Not tomorrow, not ever, because the workers have
We did
been
adopt it.
and we will not.
I would like to move the minutes of July 10th.
Thank you. What would be your next step at this point, Mr. Lang? We are still in the process of approving the agenda.
That it's been approved. It's been approved.
We are unable to do our jobs. We are unable to do our jobs at this time. The agenda was moved to be amended. It has been defeated. We are in the process of approving the agenda. There may not be another path forward for this current resolution. However, mi- since we are unable to conduct our business at this time, what would be the next step in order to solve this contract? I don't think that that's the way it goes.
You are the board. You're all supposed to be voting on this. That's common sense. How do you not see that? You just voted no. If you voted yes, we can have this conversation.
I did vote yes.
Okay, good. Get them to talk to the rest of your people. Come on. We weren't going to be mad about this? This is ridiculous.
President Forney, I moved the minutes if there's a second. Thank you.
The agenda has been approved. We have passed on it, and so I will take a motion to
when did
approve
the-
the minutes.
So moved.
Second?
No.
A second. Thank you. All those in favor of the minutes signify by saying
I
aye.
have discussion
Aye.
on the minutes. I have discussion on the minutes. I'm trying. You want me to try? I did not do any vote on the agenda, and I have something to say on the amendment.
Once again, all those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That action carries. The agenda has been approved.
And we're done with
It has not been approved.
the agenda. We did. We've done it multiple times.
Without these very old people behind us, we have pee on the floor, no toilet paper, trash overflowing. What are we supposed to tell people? I should have.
Once again, all those in favor of the agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
That action carries.
You have to consider that this is so much bigger than the 300 people behind me. There are 100 people on AFSCME 3279. There are people on Local 9. There are part-time, full-time staff that are suffering under your inaction. Please do something.
Now you time to do something. Why else would you be here? Right. Contract no peace. Somebody do the work. No peace. Step aside. No peace.
Are we?
No contract, no peace. 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 No contract, peace. No contract, no 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 peace. No contract.
Okay, I'm going to open up open time, and I have several people here would like to speak.
I've worked for MPRB for 3.5 years.
Is
Because I thought it was an organization
is
that cared
Byron
about us.
Tolman
Listen
here?
to me, Forney.
Brian Tolman, are you here?
Resignation. I will not work for people that don't respect their workers. Give these workers what they deserve, fair pay, fair contract, we do the work. Do better.
Do your job. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job. Do your Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
If we don't get it, shut it down.
President Forney, may I say something? I would like to take a moment since we're asked. This is challenging work. I know. Well, okay, listen. Are you going to let me speak or not? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. No, appreciate it. This is hard for me personally. I'll share with you why I voted no on adding this to the agenda. It's twofold. You probably don't care about one reason, and the other one's gonna probably get mad. It didn't have a chance of passing. And I am not the kind of person that wants to lead people on. I genuinely don't. And I get that probably made people upset. I get that. But I just want to be honest with you. And my honest position is this. I don't know this contract well enough to make a statement on it. May I finish? May I finish? I appreciate the engagement. I really do. I want to tell you something though. I like to tell stories, so if you would indulge me for a moment. No? No, I respect that. Can you? I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Can you just? I know. Listen, I'll speak or I won't, but I mean, you asked. You asked, and we're here, right? You know, the time is now, right? We're here. As a teacher, I know intimately well the grievances that teachers have with administrators and vice versa. In that regard, I do. And yet, there are details that being in those I appreciate this, but you're jumping to conclusions in my thinking that I'm not going toward. Right. So, honestly, like it's challenging to try to communicate. You're right. I appreciate that you don't want to hear what I was trying to say. And I do feel for you, and I thank you for your time.
President Fornium. May I speak? AJ, I have done a significant amount of research, both with the union and with the administration around this contract language. As a worker, as someone who can work, who has to understand his own teacher contract, I am concerned about the contract language that was proposed. I think that some of us have expressed that concern. There is also concern, which I am hearing from you all, that the way that things have functioned over the past 10 years might not be ideal as well. So I believe that we are closer to a solution than it appears. And I know, and I really, really want to support direct action. I believe that what you all are doing is not inappropriate. It is difficult to work through, though.
Is the union busting that the park board superintendent has done, and you didn't address that at all? And here we are still on strike 3 weeks later, so obviously it's not working.
You don't know what I've addressed individually with the super. I have had If we want to solve this contract, I do believe it can be solved very quickly. I can't do that on my own, first of all, and second of all, I would like to express that there are certain things within the contract that I believe as a worker I am entitled to that this language may improve for workers. Let me explain. Management and managers are accountable to the workers that they are employing. I do not necessarily think that we have always done our job that way because the current contract language might not allow that. Let me explain. How many of you received a 3 on your step increase, your satisfactory performance? Great. How many of you received a 4? Great. It does do something. So the thing that I am concerned about is the professionalism of your jobs. You all are professionals. We value you. I value you personally. I also value, as a teacher, my own professionalism. And I have some things that I have to do in order to get my step, and it's all based on my own reflection and how I do my job and getting better at my job and my employer being responsible for my individual growth. That is... I agree that that is a possibility, and the ESP contract is more comparable here.
I had to fight for a year to get a 52-cent lead worker wage when I had no boss for an entire month. Do you think I'm going to get my step by? No. I mean, that happened. I had an active grievance for 8 months. Yep. I was meeting every single criteria on their list. If that's how I'm treated for 50-something cents, I do not believe a single one of you that I'm going to get the raise based on my performance. And I'm a part of the club.
Okay.
threatened to break federal law. How can we trust them? That is why we don't want that language. You eight had a chance to put us back to work, and you didn't. If you don't know the contract, that's on you. Correct. That's on you. I have people that are going to lose their homes because you don't know the contract. You live in a $1.5 million home, and I have people that are going to lose theirs. And you voted no. You just got fired. You know our pain. And you voted no. Yeah. What are you doing? Commissioner Usage, you call the scout.
I'd like to hear what your path is. If this is not, if this is, so we're looking at status quo language. We've worked for 7 months. We've worked for 7 months to sort of change that. What there?
Well, that's not true. The steps didn't arrive in negotiations until the last day of mediation before our mandatory session when we filed a strike notice. So your negotiators, the majority of you seem to have the backs of bargained regressively, clearly, an unfair labor practice. In retaliation for these workers voting 94% in favor of authorizing a strike, and only then did they respond with the regressive, harsh penalty of a proposal that they knew was a poison pill, that they knew would be intolerable, and would undermine any possibility of negotiating a settlement. And then even when I offered status quo, the day before our right to strike matured, I offered the same thing that's on the table now for less money. And it was turned down, and now we're here. You should be asking your negotiators why they were so committed to pushing this group of workers to a strike, because that's what they did. My name is President of Minneapolis.
That's a great question. Actually, I would like to bring that up.
I was written up by my boss for climbing a tree. When we didn't have the bucket, and I went out to get things done, and put his thumb on me, he wrote me up. And Bene, you said sometimes you just have to shoot off. I tried to meet with all of you and talk about this because it seemed like bad management.
Punish an arborist for climbing a tree, bat an eye, and up the grievance process, and no one would meet with me and be like, hey, why were you climbing that tree? Well, the branch was gonna get ripped off by a plow, so I did it. It took 3 minutes, and I got written up for it to protect the tree from getting ripped off, and I got punished for it.
What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir? Nicholas Creevy. So I have been trying to communicate with folks around issues exactly like that, because these things are very challenging for workers. I think that my fellow board members are not anti-union. Hold on. Hear me. I choose to believe that there is somewhat of a knowledge gap around how workers feel about their jobs and how they're treated and the perceptions from management. That is a really great example of, if you are a worker and you do something that you think is right for the organization and then you're penalized for it, that is a grievance that is very difficult to take. There are also, and I'm speaking as Billy right now, not Commissioner Menz, so if you want to shut me up, you can. I mean, like, that's fine. I am speaking as Billy Menz worker. I have a strong alliance with you all because I don't want us to feel like we can't innovate or care about this park system or do our jobs in the most trustworthy way possible. We need to be able to trust you. Your managers should trust you, and you should trust us. There is a trust issue happening. We understand that. I understand. There is no trust. There is a lack of trust here. We can rebuild that trust. How? Let's get her done. I'm willing to help. I don't know if the resolution that Commissioner Alper and Commissioner Olson and honestly myself put forward is that solution. But it's in my opinion, it might be a step back. It's the status quo contract language. So I mean, if we're going to continue to bargain contracts where we don't change any language or we don't change a lot, that doesn't seem right either. You know, and I want you all to grow as employees and for us to be accountable to you. But we have to get some work done here too. Like, we can't.
Clearly something that both parties could tolerate. And then maybe we can work on some reconciliation and rebuilding trust. And we can do that through a 363 specific LMC where we talk about issues like steps. And maybe they should think about a bonus system if they want to talk about like an incentive for people, you know, reaching benchmarks and not trying to go after their professional credentials like they have with the park keepers to take away their pesticide applicator's license, which is a standard credential within the field. So, no, but what we could do today to get people back to work is agree to just the language as is, and then the 16 other proposals from management that the union said yes to, including your wages. So you proposed them. We assume that you can afford them or plan to figure that out. So what else is there to negotiate?
Correct.
Because this is a crisis moment. We have to do this now.
You had a chance tonight and you didn't do it. You still got a chance. And you want us to wait. You want our families to wait, our children to wait.
Do the right thing. Fair contract.
So taking one step out of this room, we're at a national flashpoint, and workers across this country are standing up for democracy and protecting our communities. We're having to do that here at this local level. Our state is having a renaissance and working
accountability. We don't want the public to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what Olson got to say.
Don't worry, we filmed enough of it to spread it around. Don't worry, everybody will see it anyway.
Olson got to say.
Raise in 1 year when he's making $200,000 and I made a quarter of that. Your response was the only part that your response to that question was the only part of that conversation I believe to be true. When you said he got a raise so the rest of us could get raises.
There you go.
I'll tell you, since you asked me directly, the reality is what I don't understand, and I was cut off before, and I want to say this, is I don't understand the full implications of what Commissioner Elper's resolution would do to this total organization. And my job, I stopped speaking before because I got shouted down. I respect that you guys are upset, but I also am not going, that's just not something I do. So if you're gonna shout me down, then I'll just not talk, okay? But you asked me directly, and the reality is, without knowing the implications of what that would do to the total organization, because you guys are right, there are several unions in here right now not just 363, right? And there are also sister and brother organizations, right, across the city, across the state. And for my part, what I was trying to say before is that as a teacher, I understood the tensions of being in a school. As a parks commissioner, I don't understand all the tensions that you guys go through with management, and I appreciate hearing the stories. That means something to me. And the commentary about the ESP language means something to me, because that is sort of translating it into a world that I understand, okay? That being said, I'll just speak for myself, not my colleagues. I am not prepared to change my opinion of Commissioner Elper's resolution.
It was
in
the Elper-Olson
Olson
resolution.
Okay. Elper-Olson resolution in such a short matter of time. I am more than happy to look into it. But I recognize that we don't have another meeting for another 2 weeks, right? And I recognize that there are hardships. I will just say from my part, like I said this to Mr. Lang when I spoke with him, I am not a mediator. I am not prepared to say I know all sides. And I'm on the board for a multitude of things, and if you want to come to every meeting, then you can find out all the fun things that we decide. And so that I would not be able to change my opinion on that. I do think if this is the win that you sought, in a way, this is the discussion that we didn't have by not adding it to the agenda. And I spoke toward it out of order, but I appreciate President Forney giving me that space. Commissioner Menz spoke toward it. Technically, both of us were out of order. And so that is, I'm listening, but I would not be able to change that. And I respect, someone said that I am, yeah, you know what? Hey, if you're hiring, I mean, I am out of work. This is, because of the same, I understand it. What you're saying, trust me, I've thought of it. What you guys are saying resonates with me as a person, but it doesn't mean that I have the time in this moment to change everything, because this is a massive organization and you guys do amazing work and we do appreciate you. At least I mean, again, I'll speak for myself. But I couldn't change my vote, and I know that's probably disappointing for you, but the that's why is because I don't know what it would do to the whole. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know you guys will be mad, but I will not change my position for tonight, and I don't even know that it would make a difference. Thank you. Okay, right. Oh, okay, well, let me just say this. Let me just say this. No, I'm not putting it on you. Can you give me a... Can you... otherwise, I'm just not going to... Because this is a... No, I'm... Okay. I'm not going to speak if I'm spoken over. That's not what I do in life. And I am out of order attempting to answer them. I mean, like with my colleagues, I'm at their good pleasure being out of order from our rules. What I'm trying to say is that's what we do as a board. That's not what I said. That is not what I said. I know what I said and I know what I didn't say. Okay, I stopped talking once before and I'll stop again. Respectfully, I appreciate you guys are all here, but thank you.
Thank you, President Forney. I realize that this is out of order. Commissioner Thompson, to your question about what it does to the organization, I think that is a fair question that we all should be discussing. And I think that what happens if this resolution is able to be put on the agenda and is able to be voted on and approved, it changes the dynamic of this organization. It does, it means that we lose people. We lose people who have worked on this from the management side. It means that, that's the reality, is that the work of the negotiating team is valuable. And I'm not saying that to disrespect you all. I'm saying that the Superintendent Bangora and his team have been working very hard. And I'm not saying that you're not. I'm trying to clarify for my fellow commissioner that it means that we may lose people. That we may be presenting as commissioners that's not valuable. And I think that that's important. And yep. And I'm not okay with that, but that's your choice. You're right. But I don't know how this moves us forward, but it might move us status quo. Now, there is time where that language issue is going to come up again. I mean, some sort of change to language is going to come up again at some point if we are able to undermine the negotiating team, which is not what I want to do. But yes, please. I mean, since this is all out of order, I mean, I'd like to know what the president's solution is to this problem. We have to run a meeting at some point.
It has to be the prevailing side that brings it forward. So it can't be,
Well, we could vote to suspend the rules, but that's just going to fail right away. It's just going to be futile. But someone on the prevailing side could vote to reconsider the other option. But honestly, I mean, that's out the window. And the only way we're going to be able to step back from this ledge is in mediation, which I think is tomorrow is the soonest. You know, I just
Point of parliamentary procedure.
possible, not that it's actually scheduled, but just that the earliest possible.
Point of parliamentary procedure. Council Rice is our parliamentarian. Can I speak? President Forney. We still have not approved the agenda. We did
Point of
approve
information,
the
we
agenda,
approved the agenda.
and now the next step is the approval of the minutes. Okay. Sorry, I was going to ask if we had not approved the agenda, what happens if we don't approve the agenda? We voted to approve the agenda. What my vote was recorded as a no, Secretary Ringgold, because I screamed something at that point.
and I didn't vote. I didn't hear the motion.
President Forney, you declared that it was a passed vote. I'll have to review the record to determine who the ayes and nays were. So I don't have a record of it.
Thank you. It was a voice vote.
It was a voice vote
And there were
with
no
people
nays.
screaming. Okay.
So I would like to move the minutes because I have I don't believe they're completely correct. So I would like to move the minutes from July 10th, 2024.
It may not have been heard, but I moved them, so I'll consider
Oh.
yours a second or mine a second.
Okay,
So there we go.
okay.
My notes show that the agenda was adopted and that there was a motion to move the minutes.
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank you.
President Forney, are you still running this meeting?
There was no roll call. The chair said the agenda was approved and then there was a motion.
Has there been a second?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I would like, I mentioned this, and Secretary Ringgold knows, I sent an email that the minutes don't reflect what accurately happened on July 10th. So I'd like the minutes to reflect that the board went to recess, I think it was 6:03 p.m. on July 10th, and then that the board was adjourned at 6:13 before the completed agenda at the president's discretion, from what I can remember, and that was not in the minutes. So if we could reflect that, if I need to make an amendment to the minutes, that would be fine too.
Would somebody like to second that?
Second.
All those in favor of the amendment to the minutes signify by saying aye.
So
Aye.
I didn't formally make an amendment. I was actually asking if they could be clarified, but I can make a formal amendment to the minutes. I wasn't sure if it was just that they needed to be
Secretary
updated. Secretary Randall.
President Forney, I don't believe you need a motion to ask for a correction to the minutes. So duly noted.
Thank you.
All those in favor of these minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You haven't fixed your most important problem, standing right in front of you. They want to move on with rote, routine, bureaucracy, and ignore our voices. But are we going to let them? No! We're not going to be waited out. Your stalling won't work. It's more union busting. That's all it is.
Thank you, President Forney. I'm still trying to follow some semblance of order. Huh? Move the consent agenda. Motion to suspend the rules. Motion to suspend the rules. Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
For what, Billy? For what?
For the purposes of making a motion or having discussion around directing staff back to the mediation table for tomorrow morning. I'm not sure how that process works. I'd like to understand a little bit more from the superintendent, from the negotiating team, how we can get back to the table tomorrow morning. We have heard from our workers. We have heard,
Wasted a lot of time in mediation.
we have,
Saying, we can just end it tonight.
we have heard from the staff.
You have the right to implement if you're so
There-
committed to this language.
It has failed.
Mediation isn't working either.
Mediation failed.
Because of
Waste of time.
It's stalling again.
or stalling.
You say you're coming in
There-
good faith, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
To get us out of the
It-
room. That's all this is.
It's not.
We don't have medical insurance.
That's all this does is it gets us out of the room. That's all
Next
it's gonna happen.
Wednesday, we don't have medical insurance. Think about that.
They can do it right now.
That's right.
Just to be clear, what the lack of enthusiasm for that proposal on this side. I think we've been very clear. Your negotiating team is intent on breaking the strike.
It's going to continue. So it's like, please don't, let's not pretend that we're helping by saying, oh, you should go sit down with the same people who are intent on crushing your strike to talk a little more.
For months.
Walked out twice.
Look, you got a job to do, and if you don't want to do it because you don't want to offend the handful of your bargaining team and hurt their feelings by undercutting their sense of professionalism when you are facing the hundreds of your employees on strike whose professionalism, right, has been called into question, I don't know what to say.
I would like to say that I'm trying to get people back to the table. So if the motion was incorrect,
The table's broken.
so, but
And
we,
they walked out twice. Twice.
Back to work.
Twice. They walked out of mediation
All right,
twice.
Yeah, let's.
Go back to work tomorrow.
Come on, man.
He's right
You
here.
got the power to solve it.
This is the guy that can answer our strike, right here. So when they walk out, if they walk out again, what was it for us?
Are you gonna withdraw
We're
that?
on strike for another week.
What-
We
Are you
lose
gonna-
more money.
the motion is for the bargaining team to go back to the table to settle the strike.
You first need to take a point of
Contract.
order.
Let's get back to the table.
If you want to take a vote on suspending the rules for that purpose, we would need to take a roll call vote on that
Yes,
before
thank you.
you start asking us to debate what you are asking us to suspend the rules over.
Thank you, Commissioner Musich. I'm asking to make a motion that could be discussed around how we get Superintendent Bangora, the negotiating team, and AJ Lang back to the table if it's now or if it's tomorrow. But how do I believe that we are closer than we think.
Most of it's getting done right now.
On that,
I can't get,
the request is to suspend the rules. How many people are in favor of suspending the rules to consider the motion that Commissioner Menz is? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote on how many people are willing to suspend the rules. The secretary will please call.
At this point, it would take 6 votes, 2/3, to suspend the rules.
Yep.
Commissioner Elper.
Aye.
Commissioner Menz.
Aye.
Commissioner Musich.
Pass.
Commissioner. Commissioner Olson.
Aye.
Commissioner Rucker, absent. Commissioner Schaefer.
Nay.
Commissioner Thompson.
No.
You're clowns!
All the information you needed, and you still say no.
Vice President DeBenny.
That talk, you care about us, huh?
Suspending the rules. Yea or nay?
Nope.
Commissioner Musich.
No. No.
President Forney.
No. That action does not carry.
And you see, you tried. What did that tell? Minute, what did that tell? What did that tell? Slavery, like I said. Slavery. We done sat up here and poured our hearts out to these people. The same 5 white individuals that refuse to do their job. I'm gonna call them out.
On behalf of Admin Finance, I wanted to move resolution 2022.
In here?
It was the Boys and Girls Club.
What do we want? Fair contract. When do we want it? Now. What do we This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy. This is what democracy looks like. This is what
If anyone can hear me, I was attempting to move the Boys and Girls Club time-sensitive resolution 2024-92.
My father-in-law is in hospice, dying, and instead of being there, I'm here today because it is a mitzvah to be here and pay workers what they deserve. One of the things I want to talk about is my job for the past 6 years is working with trans youth, people who don't know if they're going to have a job. So one of the things we tell them, these kids who know that the government is against them, is find a union job. They will protect you. And it is very hard looking these kids in the eyes, telling them that a union job will protect them when you will not protect the union. They see the way that you treat the union. They see that they have nowhere to go. And it's very hard as someone who works with children, especially talking to other people who've worked with children, treating their futures this way. Who are we?
363.
Who are we?
363.
It is not just the people here now, it is the union's future, the people who will be joining us, and it also, fun fact, the ASL sign for union is the sign for family, but with a U. These people have to go back to these families. No, it's okay. Someone dying doesn't matter to them. We already know this. These people have to go back to their families, and these children, like, their kids will probably see videos of, like, y'all laughing at them. This is what they will go back to. You will have to face your own families as well. You know, I don't know how you can do that. You do what you do. But just, like, asking you, as someone who works with children, to think about, like, the kids. Maybe, please.
Thank you. What do we want?
What's disgusting?
Union busting. Union busting.
I can play this game all day. What? Union busting. 363. 363. No.
Going anywhere? No. Absolutely not.
Woo!
When we fight,
We win. We win.
when we fight,
We win.
when we fight.
We win.
363.
Fair contract. Now. 363. 363. 363. 363. 363. 363. Track. Now.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm not breaking eye contact. Shut it down.
Now that I've been recognized by the chair, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
The motion to adjourn has been made. It has been seconded by a Benny.
What do we want? What do we want?
You're an embarrassment. You are an embarrassment. This board is an embarrassment.